I've experienced this many times, putting in the hard work, spending endless hours on something, only to feel like the results aren't coming fast enough. The progress felt slow, staying committed got harder, and I started wondering if all the effort was even worth it. If you ever felt this way, you are not alone. The question is, what really makes the difference in these moments? Why do some people keep going while others give up? That's what I want to explore today, how to navigate these challenges and keep moving forward even when the journey tests your patience. Without further ado, let's dive in. It all comes down to resilience. At its core, it's the ability to adapt and recover when we face challenges, setbacks, or adversity. The American Psychological Association defines resilience as behaviors, thoughts, and actions that anyone can develop. This is important because it isn't something you either have or don't have. It involves skills and habits that you can strengthen over time. I like to think of it as a tree in a storm. When strong wind blows, the tree bends, it doesn't resist. And when the storm passes, its roots grow deeper, giving it greater stability and strength. You might wonder, why is resilience so important for staying committed? Think about it. Commitment often means enduring discomfort and navigating the unknown. Progress is rarely linear. There are setbacks, delays, and moments of doubts. Resilience keeps us grounded and helps us to push forward even when the path ahead isn't clear. And if you've ever struggled to keep going, you've likely encountered one of these challenges. You're dealing with repeated setbacks. You hit a roadblock. Fine, it happens, but then it happens again and again. Suddenly, it feels like you are stuck in a loop, going in circles with no clear way forward. Or you feel overwhelmed by how much further you have to go. Instead of seeing how far you've come, all you can focus on is how much work is still ahead. The finish line feels miles away, and the weight of everything left to do makes it tempting to stop altogether, or maybe you've lost motivation. At the start, you were excited and driven, but after weeks or months of slow progress, that initial energy fades. What once felt exciting now feels like an obligation, and you start questioning why you even started in the first place. These challenges are real, but they don't have to hold you back. But here's something I've noticed. When we face these struggles, we don't just passively experience them, we react to them. And sometimes the way we react makes things even harder. In many cases, they become the biggest obstacles to our progress. Think about it. When progress feels slow, we start putting things off. When we keep hitting setbacks, we hesitate to take risks. And when doubt creeps in, we lose motivation. Before we even realize that, these habits start quietly draining our commitment. That's why before we talk about how to build resilience, we need to tackle 3 of the biggest internal roadblocks that hold us back. The first one is procrastination. It's easy to delay tasks, especially when they feel overwhelming or uncertain. But most of the time, procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about fear. Fear of failure, fear of starting, or even fear of not getting it right. I've experienced this myself. There were times when an overwhelming task felt so daunting that I avoided it entirely. But I learned to ask myself, what's the smallest thing I can do right now to move forward? Maybe it's writing the first sentence or setting a 10-minute timer to brainstorm ideas. Those small steps create a ripple effect. Take a moment to think about something you've been procrastinating for so long. What's one small step you can take today to start? To overcome procrastination, focus on breaking tasks into smaller actionable steps. The hardest part is usually getting started, but once you take the first step, momentum builds. For me, deadlines have always been tricky, but I found one technique that works incredibly well: creating a fake deadline ahead of the actual one. It's based on the Parkinson's law, which says that the more time you give yourself to complete something, the longer it takes. I've noticed that when I set an earlier deadline, it forces me to focus, get things done faster, and still leaves room for unexpected delays or revisions. And honestly, this trick hasn't just helped me stay on track, it's actually improved the quality of my work because I'm working with focus rather than scrambling at the last minute. Sometimes we don't take action at all because we want things to be perfect. And that brings us to the second roadblock, perfectionism. Instead of moving forward, we get stuck waiting for the perfect moment or trying to make everything flawless. But perfection isn't necessary for progress. In fact, it's often the imperfections and mistakes that teach us the most. Have you ever heard the saying, "Done is better than perfect"? It's a simple phrase, but there's truth in it when it comes to taking action. I used to struggle a lot with perfectionism, but when I stopped obsessing over every detail, I finally allowed myself to move forward, learn, and grow. Ever thought about it? There's something beautiful in just starting, because years later, you look back and see how far you've come. The journey shapes you, sharpens your skills, and builds a story that's not just about success, but about who you've become along the way. Now think about an area in your life where perfectionism may be holding you back. What if instead of waiting for everything to be just right, you simply started? The first step changed everything. It creates momentum, builds confidence, and opens the door to progress. And here's something most people don't realize. Resilience isn't just something you need when things go wrong. It's something you build every time you take action, even when things aren't perfect. It's what allows you to adapt, keep moving forward, and trust yourself through the process. So how do we strengthen it? How do you build the kind of resilience that helps you stay on track no matter what? I've tested these 5 practices on myself, and they've made a huge difference in how I handle challenges. And if they work for me, they can also work for you as well. The first step in building resilience is to embrace challenges. It sounds simple, but most of us shy away from difficult situations. We fear failure, we fear disappointment, but what I've learned is avoiding challenges is the easiest way to avoid growth. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and become stronger. Next time you face a challenge, instead of thinking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How will this make me stronger in the long run? What is this challenge teaching me that success never could? The way you frame a challenge determines how you respond to it. If you see this as a dead end, you'll hesitate. But if you see it as a lesson, you will keep going. Keep in mind, resilient people aren't the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who don't let struggle define them. One thing that makes a big difference is cultivating a growth mindset. This is the belief that we can improve with effort, practice, and learning. I thought that if I had the right skills and creativity, results would come naturally. But then I saw talented people struggle or even give up after their ideas fail or they face harsh criticism. I experienced it myself too. Over time, I realized that talent alone isn't enough, but resilience combined with a growth mindset is what truly drives progress. According to psychologist Carol Dweck, a professor at Stanford University and author of Mindset, people with a growth mindset are more resilient because they don't see challenges as permanent obstacles. Instead, they view setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve, which helps them bounce back faster from failure. When something doesn't go as planned, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, what did this teach me that will help me improve and move forward? Or, if I face this situation again, what would I do differently? Another key practice is self-compassion. We are often our own worst critics when things go wrong, but how we treat ourselves in those moments matters. When we do that, we build strength to face challenges better next time. Research by Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading expert in self-compassion, shows that being kind to ourselves during setbacks leads to greater emotional resilience and motivation. People who practice self-compassion recover faster from failure because they avoid destructive self-criticism. For the longest time, I thought working harder was the answer. But instead of making progress, I kept raising the bar for myself and nothing ever felt good enough. That constant pressure led to self-doubt, making me feel stuck until I started practicing self-compassion, and everything began to change. The moment I stopped tearing myself down, I allowed myself the space to move forward. If you're feeling frustrated or doubting yourself, take a moment to pause. Remind yourself it's okay to struggle. It's okay not to have all the answers right away. Give yourself room to reset, reflect, and find a way through. One of the most effective ways to build resilience is by creating small wins. But breaking your goal into smaller, manageable steps allows you to focus on one task at a time, making the journey feel more achievable. Each small success builds confidence and reinforces your commitment to keep going. Take a moment to celebrate these small victories, no matter how minor they may seem. When you acknowledge your progress, it helps you stay motivated and strengthen your resilience for the challenges ahead. And when you start noticing and appreciating the small wins, something interesting happens. You build momentum. That positive energy keeps you going. And there's a way to amplify it even more by practicing gratitude. When you focus on what's already going well in your life, you shift your mindset and stay grounded even when things feel uncertain. It works because it helps you notice the small wins, the overlooked moments, and the positive that exists even in the chaos. When I started practicing gratitude, I noticed how it made me more present and aware of the good in my life, even when things felt difficult. One day, after writing down how thankful I was for my supportive friends, I realized I had been isolating myself during a tough time instead of reaching out. That moment made me reach out to an old friend, and I opened up what I was going through, and to my surprise, he had experienced something similar. Our conversation gave me the reassurance and support I didn't even realize I needed. That's the power of gratitude. It doesn't just make us feel good, it strengthens our resilience, reminding us that even in hard times, there's always something to appreciate, whether it's the small moments, the lesson we learn, or the people we can lean on. And if you're not sure where to start, try this. Each day, take 5 minutes to jot down 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's the first sip of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or a stranger holding the door open for you. The key is consistency. Over time, you'll start noticing more good things in your life without even trying. Take a moment right now and think of 3 things you appreciate today. You might be surprised at how quickly it shifts your perspective and helps you take on whatever comes next. Remember, resilience isn't something you either have or you don't. It's something you build with every challenge you face. The real question is, how will you choose to respond when things get tough? Now that you've seen how to build resilience, imagine how much easier growth could be if change didn't feel like such a struggle. In my next video, I'll explore why our brains instinctively resist change and how understanding this can help you adapt more easily and stay on track. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.